Seniormash, talking rugby union, and of course, predict a winning score. So, what have I got to say for myself? Well, first and foremost, really enjoyed my trip to National League Rugby last weekend, and we'll be watching from home this weekend. And it's Rugby Division 1, National League, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing, then please do take a look at the National League Rugby website. There is an NLR predictor game on there, so join in the fun. I've been developing my prediction ideas so that we can all have some fun, whether we're at the ground, whether we're at home, whether we're with friends, teammates, just to give everybody some ideas and join in the fun. Enjoy your rugby. And this weekend particularly, get down to your local club, give them the support they deserve. So, let's have a look at National League Rugby Division 1. And there are some key games in National League Rugby Division 1. First of all, Blackheath versus Clifton. And let's call this the key game. Then there's a Rotherham versus Sale, and let's call that the title game. And then there's Plymouth Albion versus Leeds Tykes. Let's call that the decider. So, how am I seeing them? Well, I saw Rotherham up close and personal last weekend, and they were very, very good. Enjoyed the game immensely. They didn't actually dominate up front in the way I thought they would. They had some big, athletic, strong forwards, but Sedge kept them under control. And I think Sale are more than capable of doing the same. So for me, it'll be about the backs and how the two set up against each other. However, all that said, Rotherham are at home in front of what will be a very passionate crowd. So I'm going to go with Rotherham 48, Sale 12. Good luck to both teams. Now, perhaps the one that really has caught my attention this week, partially because of Mr. Harding's try-scoring escapades, but more because National League Rugby Division 1 has actually made it into the national media. The Sunday Times, and the Times no less. Congratulations, and particularly well done to Chris Heel at National League Rugby. He's a great, great champion of the leagues and all the teams that play in that league. He deserves your support, and to see the Times getting on board is real pat on the back for Chris. Delighted for him, and also his teammates at Talking Rugby Union. If you want the best independent coverage, www.talkingrugbyunion.co.uk. In fact, the guys are in Wales today. They're at Newport. They're following the Bucks Super Rugby finals. They've already done the University of Bath versus Loughborough University men's final. Bath coming out on top. And they're midway, as I record, through the first half of Brunel University versus Loughborough University in the women's final. Chris and Estin, keep up the good work. Thoroughly enjoying it. For those of you out there who want an independent look at rugby union, those guys at Talking Rugby Union can deliver for you. So, back to Blackheath. I personally think Clifton have delivered on a number of occasions this season, and I've been impressed with some of their play. They like to play the ball very quickly, and I do sense that there's two styles of attack here that are in some ways very similar. So it could turn out to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to go for 41-20 in favour of Blackheath. you can see that where I see the edge is that points difference. 357 playing 264. Good luck to both teams. Now, Plymouth Albion have thrilled me, surprised me, and at times disappointed me this season. I saw them early on in the season at Sedgley Park, and I thought, they're a good team. And I was of the opinion that Sedge could win that game. There was a yellow card, and in the 10 minutes for the yellow card, fair dues to Plymouth, they absolutely ran riot. And the game just got away from Sedge. I like their style of play. I think they tend to get off to great starts. And if they do that, they should be way ahead of Leeds Tykes. Leeds have had an up and down season, clearly, as their league position shows. But, there's a lot at stake for Plymouth. And if you look at the edge, as I've described it, the points difference, 421 versus minus 185. So a vast difference in point scoring. 36-22 is my prediction. Predict a winning score, 36-22. But at Plymouth, and there could be over 3,000 people there watching, it's quite possible that Plymouth score more. But there are other games. TJs are playing Leicester Lions. And this is an interesting one. TJs are just on the positive side of points difference, +3. And Leicester Lions at the bottom of the league are on minus 571. For me, TJs have been one of those teams when they play at home that are capable of playing some fantastic attacking rugby. I'm going to go 38-18. That's me predicting a winning score. In the Midlands, we're going to see Birmingham Moseley take on Bishop Stortford. As many of you will recall, I like the way Bishop Stortford play. I really do. I think they've got a style of play that always keeps them competitive. Birmingham Moseley have been very hit and very miss this season. If you're looking at a edge, as I describe it, then Birmingham Moseley have got a points difference in the league this season of minus 99, Bishop Stortford minus 53. On that basis, you would say Bishop Stortford, but Birmingham Moseley are at home and they need to prove that they aren't a bottom 4 team. So I'm going to go Birmingham Moseley 31, Bishop Stortford 27. Completing predict a winning score in National League Rugby Division 1 this week, I'm going to go Rosslyn Park 38, Dings Crusaders 24. Maybe a little bit harsh on Dings, who've got a lot to play for. However, when I look at the edge, plus 223 for Rosslyn Park and minus 211 for Dings, I've got to go with Rosslyn Park. As you all know, the next fixture is going to test my heartstrings because I should be saying Sedgley. Sedgley Park have had a difficult season, plenty of injuries. Their efficiency in the 22 has been lacking, in my opinion. I've been incredibly impressed with Tansey, Bennett, Bradley, and Glass. I do think that they could have scored another try last week, and that would have been deserved against Rotherham. However, the fact that they kept 15 men on the field was a big plus, in my opinion. And they're away down in Reading. Rams are a very good outfit. I like that club. I like the way they do things. I've seen firsthand how proactive they are to National League Rugby and its promotion, having Friday nights under lights, live streams with Chris Heel, Joe Harvey, and the team at Next Gen. So they're proactive, they're ahead of the game, they're capable of a good result. The points difference, and look, Rams are minus 39, Sedge are minus 355. The data shows that the edge belongs with the Rams. So I'm going to go Rams 29, Sedge 21. As I've watched National League Rugby Division 1 for a number of years now, and National League Rugby Division 2 North, it is very obvious to me that if you're going to be in a fantasy league or you're going to do predictions, there are a couple of things that are beyond your control. Yellow cards are an absolute prediction killer at this level, I've got to say. Weather conditions, high winds, driving rain, you get some unusual fixtures in games like that, no doubt. And of course, injuries. And let's hope all those that have been injured during the season are on the return to fitness. And let's hope that in this last game of the season, there are no injuries across the leagues. I look at these teams, when they get to the 22, they need to convert. In the opposition 22, if they can get a penalty or they can get a try or a converted try, then they really put themselves with the biggest opportunity to win a game. Then it's about efficiency. Clearly the penalties 3, the tries 5, and the converted tries 7. So the more points per entry, the more efficient. And that efficiency gives you those point differences that I've talked about earlier that allow some form of data to back up the predictions that I look at. And it is that points difference and the gap between team 1 and team 2 that gives you that win probability. But as you all know, my heart gets in the way on many occasions. But that's how we're thinking about it. It's been a great National League Rugby season, and truly the innovation that Chris Heel and the team at Talking Rugby Union have brought to the league this season has been amazing and can only go from strength to strength. To see that with the last game of the season, we've probably got the most competitive rugby in the world in National League Rugby Division 1 is a testament to the teams, the league, and the folk that I've just mentioned. So, great rugby for you to enjoy. And you can enjoy it at a game, you can enjoy it streaming, you can enjoy it on socials, and you can have a listen to me, Seniormash. It's been a great season, and over the coming weeks, I'll do some reviews with Chris Heel on all 4 divisions and let you have our thoughts. As the season completes, then we'll be looking at Major League Rugby in the United States, and we'll also be taking a look at the upcoming internationals in July. Plenty of rugby to cover, plenty of rugby to predict. So, predict a winning score is not going away.